Hey guys, my name is Brittany of Britzy Thrift. I'm a reseller on Poshmark as well as eBay, and welcome to my January What Sold video. I know we're almost to the end of February. It kind of seems like it's becoming a habit for me to get my What Sold video up like almost when it's time for a new What Sold video, but better late than never. I'm gonna try to get through this pretty quickly because my allergies have been acting up, and I feel like probably once I start talking, my voice is going to give out. So I'm going to try to get through as much as I can. But if you start to hear some cracking and whatnot, then, it's just allergies. So let's start off with what I sold on Poshmark. This was a bundle of 2 items. It sold on January the 1st. This is an Athleta extra large black shimmer seamless tight. So it had like little gold flecks in it, very pretty. And then this is a Pointsur size 32 Saatchi boyfriend jean. And this bundle sold for $32, and out of that I received $25.60. I believe the Athleta shimmer seamless tights, I got those from by the pound, and tights are very, very lightweight, so I probably paid hardly anything for them. And then the Pointsur jeans I probably paid about $5 for, so to receive $25.60 is great. It's a really good flip. Next, out of the $2 bin, I sold this new Attack silver jeans size 18W mid-rise boyfriend short for $25, and I received $20 in net earnings. Here is a pair of Incas size, women's size 11, men's size 9. These are called the Bela Floral Slip-On Shoe. I just thought they were really interesting looking, very comfortable, casual, kind of like art to wear. These sold for $25, and out of that I got $20. Then I sold this new Attack Betabrand size medium petite black dress pant or yoga pants for $40, and I received $32. Then I sold this vintage Mary Frances satin beaded purse for $30, and I got $24. Next, I sold this LL Bean size medium teal blue 100% cashmere, so it's a cashmere piece, long sleeve sweater for $30, and I got $24. Still selling my Monster Jam sweatshirts that I got from Walmart. These were clearanced out to $1. So this is a size small, and it sold for $12, and I got $9.05. Then I sold this Shetland size medium men's green crew neck sweater for $20, and I got $16. Next, I sold this new Attack 346 Brooks Brothers extra large men's blue 100% merino wool pullover for $50, and I got $40. Here's a pair of flawed Icebreaker GT New Zealand merino wool over the calf socks. I think I got these from Ross a long time ago, and they had just a few little like fabric picks in them, so I kind of hesitated about getting them listed because I knew they weren't in perfect condition, but once I did, they did sell for $10, and out of that I received $7.05. Here's a Helly Hansen size medium red faux fur hooded coat. This sold for $100, so that was a really good sale, and I got $80 out of that. It was a beautiful red, and it got a 5-star rating, and it says beautiful coat in amazing condition, fast delivery. Next, I sold this Skies Are Blue curvy size 3X purple open front blazer jacket for $30, and I got $24. Next, I sold this Wanacomb size small blue asymmetrical zip jacket for $25, and I got $20. Here's a Barefoot Dreams size 1X cozy chic light mock neck half zip sweater, but it was like a pullover, so it wasn't, usually they're kind of like an open front sweater, but this one was actually a pullover. This sold for $34, and I got $27.20. Here's a Levi's size 6 medium straight leg 505 mid-rise blue jean. It sold for $30, and I got $24. Here's a Kay Unger size 14 floral evening dress. I think it was missing its belt, but it was still very, very pretty. Sold for $45, and I got $36. Here's an Eton contemporary size 2XL men's purple plaid cotton shirt. This sold for $19, and I got $15.20, so I think this was a mistake. I picked up a bunch of them. Somebody had donated a large amount of these shirts, different colors, and they were all like 2XL. Some were contemporary and some were just Eton, by themselves. So I looked up the comps, and it looked like it was selling pretty well, but apparently not for some reason they haven't really been moving like that. So I'm glad I did not just go through and pick up all of them. I just grabbed the colors that I liked, but still, even with that, I feel like I picked up too many of them now that I see how they're performing. So this one sold for $19. I got $15.20, but would I pick them up again? No. Here's a Pilcrow in the letterpress by Anthropologie, size 26, high-rise, skinny, like a sort of like a corduroy, velvety sort of texture pants. This sold for $20 and I got $16. Here's a Lilly Pulitzer size large 100% cotton knit button front sweater that sold for $25 and I got $20. Here's an AG Adriana Goldschmied size 30R, the Angel bootcut flare. I believe these were new with tag or new with partial tag. These sold for $30 and I got $24. Then this was a really cute vest. It was like a cropped puffer vest that was floral. It was by Altered State. It was a size small and it was new with tags. This I debated. I was like, Altered State, I've tried it before and it just will not move at all for me no matter how cute it is, and they have a lot of really cute pieces. So I was like, I probably shouldn't get this, but it was so cute. It was almost like kind of made me think of like Laura Ashley with the rose print on it, and I just wanted to sell it, so I picked it up anyway, and it sold for $30 and I got $24. Here's a pair of Sorel size 7. These were called the Out and About Conquest Court Gray waterproof boot. These sold for $20 and I got $16. So good for me, another pair of shoes that went out. Here is a mistake buy. So I picked up Logo by Lori Goldstein in a size 16. These are a pair of blue jeans. I think they're kind of like a patchwork jean. Had them forever, thought that they were really cute, and I was like, okay, they're, you know, a plus size, and at the time I just thought that Logo was something that would sell, and it just did not move well. So had them forever. Finally sold for $9 and I got $6.05, and mind you, I probably paid about $5 for them. So I do not mess with Logo by Lori Goldstein anymore. I don't think it has any resale value, not for me anyway. Here's another pair of shoes out of my inventory. There's a pair of Keen size 9.5 boots, 200 gram insulation. They were pretty with the purple laces, and they were gray, and you know, they were a little taller. So these sold for $50, and out of that I got $40. Here's a $2 bin pickup. It's a new with tag Mod Lee size 2X loose fit Adele swim top. This sold for $18, and out of that I got $14.40. It got a 5-star rating, and someone left a love note that says, "Love the swim top, great communication and fast shipping." So that's awesome. This is something that I thought would go faster, and it didn't. This is another brand that, for whatever reason, I thought that it was going to be a good seller, and it just took me way too... There are certain brands that I think I heard about a long time ago, and I was relying on other, you know, resellers and YouTubers to tell me what were the it brands instead of just checking it myself. And Roots Canada is one of them, and I haven't had any luck with Roots Canada, but I thought for sure, okay, this one is going to be the one to sell, because it had like the big logo, and it was casual, and it had the, you know, Canada on the front. I still had it forever. So this is a size small, big logo sweatshirt in maroon and gray, and it finally sold for $24, and I got $19.20. So I do not pick that up anymore at all. Let's see. Oh, this one's kind of sad. I can talk about it, but I had to cancel it. So this is a bundle order that, let's see if I can get the details. Oh my gosh, it was $58, this bundle. So this was a new tag Mark New York, Andrew Mark, extra small, faux suede midi skirt, and a blank NYC small faux leather zip jacket. Now, when I got to my storage unit, I do pay for climate controlled storage unit. However, sometimes things still happen. So I'm constantly checking on like my faux leather, vegan leather items, because I want to make sure that there is no cracking or anything like that. Usually I'm pretty good and I don't have that problem, but this was the day. So when I went to pull out this blank NYC jacket, it was crackled all over the place, like inside the plastic envelope protective packaging that I usually put my stuff in, inside the bin still, it just crackled And I had to send the person a message saying, I'm sorry, you know, I've relisted the skirt. I canceled their bundle sale. I told them I relisted the skirt that they can purchase by itself out of my closet if they were interested, but I had to send them a picture of the crackling so they would know, like, I can't send this to you. This is not the same condition as when I listed it. And so she never did come back and buy the skirt by itself. And you know, it just is what it is. Sometimes those things happen. Rarely do they happen, but I was like, daggone it, that was a $58 sale. And, you know, just because that jacket decided to do what it wanted to do, I lost out. But it's okay. I feel better being honest about it, you know, rather than trying to like send it. And then I don't even know why you would send it, you know, if something was wrong with it and you know it. It's like, go ahead on and save the chaos by just being honest and tell them, hey, this has changed, this is different. You know, I just wanted to let you know, and that's why I'm doing it. So I did what I was supposed to do, but it was a loss. Next, I sold this Patagonia size large blue-gray pullover T-snap sweater for $30, and I got $24. Oh, this one sold really fast, so I never heard of it before. I love sales like this. This was called Comfort, COMFRT, and it's a size small black jogger sweatpant. I saw when I looked up the comps when I was shopping that it had really good comps, great sell-through rate, so I didn't expect to have it for very long, and sure enough, it sold exactly for how much the comps were saying that it would sell for. So this sold for $40, and I got $32, and it received a 5-star rating. This was in the $2 bin, so excellent flip. I love surprise things like this that I've never heard of that work out very well. It's just about checking the comps to see what is the sell-through rate and how much for, and try to stick with that. This by Anthropologie, size medium, gray pink elbow patch color block crew neck knit top or sweater for $23, and I got $18.40. Then, oh, here's another one that I don't even know why it took so long. It was a beautiful blue. This is called Foursquare, and I guess it's like a skiing snowboarding brand, because this was a snow jacket. It was a size extra small in a royal blue, and it was hooded, and it just seemed like it was good quality. That's why I picked it up. It was in great condition too. Had it forever. Finally got a $12 offer in 2026, and I got $9.05. So yeah, lesson learned. Here is a new tag Gianni Benny size large green gold embroidered dress. I sold for $15, and I got $12. It was a beautiful dress. It was in a large. It was new with tags, but as you can see, even with all of that, it still only sold for $12. So Gianni Benny is not something that I would regularly, you know, pick up. Here's an Anthropologie Yellowbird extra small wool alpaca floral beaded sweater. This sold for $24, and I got $19.20. This is something I got from the Ross 49-cent sale a few years ago, actually. Not this sale that just passed, but this is a Nike Jumpman Hot Lava Palm Beanie hat in a youth size 8/20. This sold for $8, and I got $5.05, and I probably only paid 49 cents for it, but I had it forever. I think it even sold one time, and then it got canceled, and it's been sitting ever since. So finally it sold, and it's gone. The order is complete. This is a Wolverine size large men's 36-38 gray classic waffle thermal pant in the packaging. It sold for $11, and I got $8.05. I got this out of the $2 bin. Here's a pair of shoes, Sam Edelman, size 7.5. These were called the Rainier Real Fur Animal Print Cork Wedge Sandal. They sold for $20, and I got $16, and it says, as pictured and described, quick shipping and easy purchase. Next, see, now it's starting to give out. Next, I sold this pair of Levi's 16W70s high slim straight blue jeans for $20, and I got $16. Here's a Peter Cohen size small 100% silk black petal flare skirt. I sold for $31, and out of that I got $24.80. I think that this is a more expensive brand, but maybe if it had been a better piece, like a dress or something, it probably would have sold faster and for more money. But I feel like maybe this was a little bit more of a, you know, quieter piece, so maybe that's why it took longer. It sold almost as soon as I put it up. This is a Spanx extra large ruby patent faux leather legging. New with tags. I got it from one of the Ross 49-cent sales, not one of the most recent, not the most recent one, but one previously. And it sold for $40, and out of that I got $32. And it's crazy how fast these sold in an extra large. I have another pair exactly like it, new with tags, that has been listed for quite some time in a size small petite, and nobody is touching those, but the extra large flew. So that's part of the reason I kind of like to gravitate towards the bigger sizes and plus sizes as opposed to smaller sizes. I will still pick up small sizes, but it's got to be something really good, you know? Then I sold this pair of Allbirds size 6 Tree Breezers Luxe Beige Knit Ballet Flats for $25, and I got $20. And someone left a love note, 5 stars. It says, like new, love, and hearts. Here's a pair of Johnny Was size 39, which is an 8.5 to a 9. These are called the Kia Combo Floral Embroidered Sneakers. They were sneakers, and I had them for a while, but I didn't want to let them go because they were like new and they were beautiful, and I was just like, I don't care. I love Johnny Was. Usually Johnny Was sells for like 100 and something for me, and so I was like, I'm just gonna hold on to these until I can get over 100 for them. Finally got an offer of $120, and out of that I got $96. Here's a jacket that kind of threw me off a little bit, so you might want to check your inventory. So this is what happened. This is a Burton size large Duchess insulated jacket, sold for $45, and out of that I received $36. But what I noticed was that when I was sharing my closet one day, I always filter to available before I share. And when I was scrolling through, I noticed that this Burton jacket popped up as available, and I was like, that's not available, I just sold it. You know, and so I went to go look at the sale, and it says resolved. And I'm like, okay, what was the problem? So I looked into it, and it said that the package was lost, you know, by USPS, but Poshmark automatically just relisted it in my closet. So, you know, if you're not paying attention, you might actually have things that you know you shipped, but maybe there was a lost package and you weren't aware of it, and then it gets relisted in your inventory, and God forbid that it sells again, because then you're off looking for it, you know, and it's like, okay, or even if you're not looking for it and you know that you sold it, you have to then message the buyer and cancel a sale, and I don't want to have to cancel something unnecessarily. So I don't know why they relisted it. I think they should have just like left it out of my inventory, but they did, and that was the first time I noticed it. So you may want to check your sales to make sure that, you know, nothing like that is going on. But I did still get the payout for it, the $36, because I guess they just filed a claim with USPS. Next, I sold this really, really cool, like new Loungefly Harry Potter white gold tone elder wand purse. So like it had like a gold wand on it, like in Harry Potter. It was just so cool, and I could tell the person barely used it. It sold for $55, and out of that I received $44. Next, I sold this new with tag Old Navy size 2XL green cinch cargo utility nylon skirt for $14, and I got $11.05. Here's a new with tag somersault size 2 the ruffle backflip Nero dot one-piece swimsuit. It sold for $34, and I got $27.20. And then I sold this pair of Do-Er, so that's DU/ER, size 29 by 28. I think they're supposed to be like unisex jeans where men and women can wear them. These were a pair of blue skinny jeans, and they sold for $20, and I got $16. I've tried this brand before. The other pair did not sell at all. These were in better condition, and they finally sold for $20. So I think they're showing up as expensive when I look them up, but they're just not reselling very well. So I'm going to leave that brand alone. Then we have a Michael Kors. This is called the Kelsey Bright Blue Nylon Tote Bag. It did have like a little bit of staining on the nylon, which I disclosed. But I just thought it was such a beautiful blue, and the straps were very sturdy. They were in really nice condition. You could tell the quality was there. So this sold for $30, and I got $24. That was that person's first Poshmark experience, and she didn't write it up here, but I think she might have like messaged, or like, I don't know, she did something, but I believe it was her that said, you know, she had a really great experience, and thank you, you know, because it was her first time using it. And you know, whenever you're not sure about an app, your first purchase, you're kind of like paying close attention to it, because it's like, okay, you know, how's this gonna go? Is it gonna come in crappy, or is it gonna be kind of like, you know, am I gonna be satisfied? And so I'm glad that I was able to give her a good first experience. Of course, everybody packages their stuff differently, and you know, unfortunately, you can have like a good seller that sends you something nicely, and then somebody else that's like, it looks like it got dropped into a mud puddle and a volcano, you know, by the time you get it. And so you just don't know. But at least I was able to give her a good experience for her first time shopping on Poshmark. Next, I sold this Nuitag Pure J. Jill large petite blue tie-dyed relaxed v-neck tee for $15, and out of that I received $12. Lastly, on Poshmark, I sold this men's Lululemon size large green shift stitch waffle hooded thermal. This sold for $40, and out of that I got $32, and it got a 5-star rating, and it said fits perfectly, very happy. Okay, so now let's check out what happened on eBay. Okay, so I'm going to start off by talking about a sale from December that I talked about in my last What Sold video. So it was a pair of Nuitag Rag & Bone size 30 Nina black coated high-rise skinny jeans that I was very disappointed in because the person wanted to return them. They opened up a case saying that it didn't fit them properly, that they were supposed to be skinny jeans, but she was like, I think that it's like a malformed fit or something like that, she was saying. So I sent her the return label, but luckily it worked out for me because see, this was $100 sale, and I was like, I really don't want to lose that $100, but there's nothing I can do. So I sent the return label, and then when it got all the way down to the end, I thought for sure she was going to wait to the very last day to send it back because that's happened to me before, and she didn't send it back. So eBay closed the return and released my funds, and all is well. So I still ended up with $100, which is awesome. I'm so happy. So I just wanted to update that. Now, what sold starting in January the 1st was this Nuitag Mickey Mouse gray 72 by 72 Disney shower curtain. It sold for $40, and I got $24.07. The Mickey Mouse shower curtains are hanging around a lot longer than the Peanuts, like the Charlie Brown shower curtains. So, you know, that's interesting because I always thought that Disney, you know, and Peanuts were kind of neck and neck, but apparently people really like Peanuts almost a little more than they like Disney. So I got one more white shower curtain that I'm waiting to sell, but once that's gone, it'll be gone, and I'll just have to remember that. I mean, they're still really nice shower curtains, but people definitely snatched up the Woodstock Snoopy ones way faster than they're snatching up these Mickey Mouse ones. The next sale was on January the 5th. This was really cool and unique. This is a vintage Brookfield Uniforms ladies size small patrol USPS sweater, like an old school sweater that they wear to work. And it sold very fast. It immediately got a bunch of attention. It sold very fast. It sold for $95, and I got $72.48 out of that. And it was amazing because it still had like the patrol tag, you know, pill troll is what they said. I don't know, it was something about the material. They called it pill troll, but this sold very fast, and that was pretty cool. Next, I sold this Nuitag Torrid size 3X Studio Luxe Ponte pencil skirt. It had a black and red plaid pattern to it, and it sold for $28. Out of that, I got $16.37. Then this was a $2 bin pickup. Well, actually, like probably $4 because they charged me $2 a piece. But this was 2 packages of NYX Extra Small Shadow Mesh Leak Proof Bikini Medium Absorbency Panties. And they sold for $35, and I got $25.06. Then I sold this Caruso size large donut worry brown t-shirt. So I've seen this brand a couple of times. It has usually like a scripture on it, and it's supposed to have like, you know, some sort of funny words of encouragement, and usually they look like other brands, like how this one looks like Dunkin' Donuts, but it says donut worry. I saw another one that looked like something else too, but they're kind of fun and creative, and they're supposed to be uplifting. This one sold for $24, and out of that, I got $15.36, and it was a $2 bin pickup. Then I sold this Nuitag Lucky brand. This is a size 00 or 24R. These were the sweet straight black mid-rise jean, and they sold for $40. And after fees, I got $25. I picked them up even though they were 00 because they were Nuitags, and I think I just liked the way they looked. Here is a Nuitag Jax MFG medium light indigo blue heritage chambray button front shirt that sold for $25, and I got $14.38. Here is a Vineyard Vines size medium whale polka dot cashmere blend sweater that sold for $50, and I got $36.94. Next, we have these really cute Nuitag Hallmark up to 9.5 women's It's Your Birthday slippers that sold for $25, and when you press the button, they would actually sing. So I got $15.97 out of this. And then we had this Nap loungewear size large green hooded sweater. This was 100% cashmere, I do believe, and sold for $55, and I got $40.60. Next, I sold this New Without Box New Republic size 12 gray. These were called the Kurt leather low top lace up shoe. Sold for $55, and I got $40.20. Then I sold this Oi Rossi size medium tiger print blazer fairly quickly for $50, and I got $31.78. I remember the other one was green and it was velvet like that, and it sold on Poshmark, but it sold a lot. This one sold a lot faster on eBay, so I'm wondering if I had just listed the green one on eBay in the first place, would it have sold quicker? But these are very interesting looking jackets. Seems like they have, like, you know, very stunning sort of designs, especially if you're, you know, you're going out to a party and you want to be eye-catching. I had never heard of it, but I think it's pretty cool, and I've sold it. I've seen it and sold it twice now. Next, we have this Max Mara. This is a Puro Lino Italy size 10, 100% linen skirt in just like a beige color, very neutral. You could, you know, match it up with anything. Earth tone, sold for $59, and I got $45.33. And that's it. So that's everything that I sold in the month of January. I think February is going a bit slow, but when I checked my stats last year, February was also one of my slower months. So if, you know, my chart is correct, it should start to pick up next month, and hopefully things, you know, you can just never tell. All I can do is just keep listing. I know I've listed a lot in February for sure, because I did a lot of shopping in January between like the Ross 49-cent sale and just regular thrifting, and I'm trying to get all that stuff listed. So I've been hitting it pretty hard, and I'm actually doing very well. I'm almost done with listing everything, and now I just have to find a place to put it in my storage unit. But luckily, what's crazy is some of the Ross stuff is actually already selling, you know, so I don't have to find a place for it. And it's, again, it's surprising me because some of the brands that I'm selling from Ross, I'm like, I would have never thought that someone would be looking for this. But you'll hear about that in my next What Sold video. But yeah, I'm definitely trying to keep the momentum up. I'm working hard, and hopefully the sales start rolling in. Some people say there's a delay between the time that you know, hit it hard with listing and the time you actually start to see the results. I'm not sure, but if I see a spike in sales, I might think that it has something to do with the fact that I'm rolling in February as far as getting everything listed. So hopefully, I have my fingers crossed. I really want to see the money starting to come in. I am excited to be putting out all these listings. It feels really good to be productive. So that's that. Thank you so much for watching my What Sold video, and I hope to catch you in the next one, which is going to be right around the corner because, as I said, I waited basically to the end of February to list my January What Sold. So now going into March, I'm kind of like, okay, now it's time for February What Sold. So I'm going to try to get that listed a lot sooner than the end of the month. Yeah, I'm just going to try to do better about getting it listed sooner. So that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and hope to catch you in the next one. Bye.